You good?
I'm good. Why?
You sure you're good?
Think so.
Really good?
I don't know. Now you got me wondering. Should I not be good?
I don't know. Are you really good, though?
I'd like to think I am.
A lot of people act like they're good, but they're not good.
Oh. Oh, no, I'm
So
not
you
one of
good?
those people. Yeah, I'm good.
How many times people ask you if you're good and you're not good?
Probably a lot.
A lot.
I'm not going to ever admit it.
Yeah. Why do people do that?
Really? You're a guy. You already know that answer. We do it because I'm not going to show weakness.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So you're hiding your pain out there right now? Why are you faking it? Right? A lot of us are faking that pain right now, and it's tough. I mean, you're going to work. People are asking you, how you doing? I'm good. You go to church, you walk in. Hey, how's it going? I'm good. You walk in the
I
door.
got you.
Somebody greets you, from, your family member. I'm good. But it ain't true. So why are you faking it? God does not want you to fake it. God actually wants your pain. But you got to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to share that with people and talk about exactly what's going on in your life. But we don't do that as guys. We're talking about to guys today primarily, right? We have most of our viewers are guys between the ages of 20 and 50. And I can guarantee you that a lot of you are going through this every single day, struggling with faking it and not giving it to God.
Oh, that's why I'm kind of giggling now, because I kind of figured where you were going with this.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Because you know what? You fake it till you make it.
Yep.
So that's what I was taught growing up. Fake it till you make it. If you don't have it figured out, you just make it look like you do and just keep going through the motions and you'll eventually figure it out. And I think that's where that becomes a problem as men trying to grow as Christians, is
It's a
because
problem.
you can't fake faith. You can't fake the feelings you get from those things. And I guess if you're trying to fake that, I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up because, faking it sometimes, you're doing that because you think you should have faith enough to kind of get through the struggles that you have. And the fact that you don't have enough faith makes you feel like you're really not a true Christian.
Well, but I don't even know if it's that you don't have enough faith. I think sometimes it's that maybe it's not having enough faith. It's just not having enough faith in yourself. I don't think it's always not having the faith in God. I think sometimes it's just not having the faith in yourself to find your way through it.
Well, I like that you said that because that's the problem.
It
that,
is.
You're leaning on yourself too much. And you look at, let's go to some biblical characters. Let's start with the main one, Jesus, right? He was in the Garden of Gethsemane right before he went to the cross.
The where?
The Garden of Gethsemane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
Oh, I know it is.
He was bleeding. He was bleeding, literally sweating blood before he actually went to the cross. And he was like, God, if it's your will you just take this cup from me? Right? He was pleading with him in his pain. But he went right to God, right? He wasn't trying to do it by himself. He was like talking to God about the challenge that he was having in that moment. Right? So again, he wasn't leaning on himself. He was trying to figure it out through his relationship with his Father.
Okay.
So, my point is, when you're actually trying to figure it out yourself, that's part of the problem. And it's biblical too. You go back to David, to the story of David. There were times when he went to God and said, God, how long are you going to
All
forget?
right. So if you're
me?
saying we don't try to do this on our own, what are we supposed to do? But
Get on your knees and pray.
So you're saying, I guess I don't see where you're going with this now. You kind of lost me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I get on my knees and pray every day, but I'm still doing it alone.
Okay, but do you really feel that if you're on your knees and praying every day, why do you feel alone if you know that God's always with you?
Well, because I have faith and I have the feeling that God is there, but I'm still doing this alone. I don't have somebody to lean on. I don't have another human being to lean on. So how am I doing this not alone?
Because God is always with you. There's a verse in the
Spirit.
Bible that go by, how much that?
God's always here in spirit, 100%.
Yeah, isn't that good enough?
It is for me, but I'm saying that he's not here. So I'm doing this on my own. So how do I get people to understand that? That's my question to you now. You're the one who brings the topic in, and I'm questioning you because that's the way I see it sometimes too.
Because here's the thing. Look, you don't have to be alone. If you have, first of all, you go to God, but you have to be in fellowship with other I'm gonna say other brothers, right? I'm talking to men right now. You have to find men that you can confide in each and every day to share your struggles with,
Okay, but
and then you're not doing it alone.
what I'm saying to you is right now I'm alone. I'm doing this on my own. How do I get to that point? How do I recognize that I need to see that I need brothers in Christ to help me get there?
Well, it
I know
depends
how
on.
I found it. I'm coming
You
to
have
you
to.
asking you this
You have to
question.
be real with your struggle. You have to be real with what you're faking, and realize that you need help, and you can't do it by yourself, and you need other people in your life to come by your side to help you through whatever you're going through. It's that simple. Look, when you kind of pulled out of your stuff, going back, with your alcoholism, did you do it? Did you do it with other brothers?
I'm well aware of how I got there.
Yeah.
I was trying to bring out how you got there because
Yes.
they're
And
well aware
again,
of how I got there because I talk about it openly.
yeah. And again, thank you. So again, when I was going through my depression and anxiety, I stiff-armed my faith, my friends, and my family.
Exactly.
But it took my family, my friends, and my faith to kind of bring me back to my faith. So that was the key, right?
There,
Allowing
see what I'm saying? You see where I was
yes,
going now?
yes, sir. I gotcha. So thank you for turning it back on me. But yeah, no, I mean, it was basically my family, especially I'd say my wife, who was there for me and like trying to figure out how to pull me out of it, calling around different doctors, calling around the country to figure out who I might need to see in order to kind of pull out of my anxiety and depression. And then my friends who were showing up every day. I mean, there was an army of people that were showing up through prayer, through trying to take me out. I mean, I remember like going out just playing frisbee in a park with three other guys, and not wanting to be there. I mean, I'm talking being in a really, really bad state, like a highly anxious state, and feeling just like I just want to get out of here. But they were trying to pull me out.
See, and this is why I brought this up, and this is why I spun it back on Rob, is because Rob's story is very different from mine. Mine had to deal with drugs and alcohol. I mean, there's a lot more to it, yes, but his was family based. His was based in his own demons sitting at home with his family. His wasn't based by him going out and doing things he shouldn't be doing, where mine was. And that's the difference, and that's why I wanted to spin that back on you. You didn't even realize why I was doing it.
No, I didn't. I couldn't figure out where you're going there. But
And that's
yeah.
why. Because you were alone.
Yeah,
You
purposely.
had a family who was there supporting you, and you were still alone.
That's right. Yeah.
Where I'm sitting in a space where I'm alone, but I don't have that family. I have people, I have friends, I have you, I have so many men and women that I lean on. I'm not alone when I say that. I am blessed beyond measure. And so are you. And sometimes we don't see it that way.
That's right.
We see that I'm in this pit of despair. I'm alone. Why am I so fearful? Why am I so anxious? What is going on? And we can't realize that we have all these people around us that want to do nothing more than to help us.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's almost like I wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
Which is really
It's
hard
maddening.
to say. It is maddening, but I couldn't really figure out like how to get to that next step. And candidly, here was the problem. We have a friend of ours that's going through a really difficult time right now, and that person wants to get better. I didn't want to get better. I just wanted to stay there. But that might be the first step, is wanting to actually truly get better. And if you really want to get better, you got to be vulnerable and let people help you.
It's kind of like you and I had the conversation earlier about quitting things, and I talked about quitting alcohol, and my other thing that I need to quit is chew, and I love it. I hate admitting it, but I do. And you're never going to quit or start anything if you're not ready. You're not, because you're never going to see it through.
And the other thing I would say too is try starting when you're not ready. That's the hardest thing to do.
And that's what I was going to say, is the next thing is when you're the most fearful, that's when you jump. When everything is the scariest, but what you need to realize is when the pain of today's reality becomes greater than the fear of change, that's when we jump. That is.
Yeah.
And when we start realizing that we can't keep holding all this in, and it gets to a point where it's either let it out or our lives, we need to start realizing that we need to start turning our lives over to God.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's where it begins.
It does. It does. And and like I said, I stiff-armed my faith, going through that when I probably should have started there. Fortunately, it ended there because my family and my friends kind of got me there, but I didn't start with kind of leaning on God first and foremost.
Well, no, because you had that fear. That fear that paralyzes us, that makes us sit here and think that we're alone when we're never alone.
Yeah. So let's get back to the viewers here. What are you dealing with right now? What are you faking right now? What are you not admitting? Are you going out and actually, are you willing to actually share your biggest challenge right now with a friend? If they come up to you tomorrow, would you be willing to say, they ask you how you doing, and then they say, really, how you doing? Which is that's a key word sometimes. That's one word you might want to add when you're asking people how they're doing. Really.
Or honestly.
Yeah, or honestly.
Like, be
To get
honest
the
with me.
real answer.
How are you doing? Are you
Yeah.
good? Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to not be okay.
That's right. And then be ready to help them through their problem, but also be willing to share your struggle too, because you know what, your struggle might be the one thing that can help somebody else get through theirs, right? Somebody might be going through the same thing, and they got all the answers for you because they've been there or just been on the other side of it, and
Well, and that's the whole reason we started this right there.
yeah,
Just so those of you who aren't aware, that's the whole reason we started this channel. The whole reason we started doing this was in hopes that my crappy past and my torrid life story of ill will and horrible decisions,
well, I'm right there with you.
yeah, it
Yeah.
might help one of you. Same with Rob's story. And we wanted to bring ourselves, the thing that we liked is we brought ourselves together from different aspects of life and had different issues and different upbringings and all these differences in our lives. But at the end of the day, we came together because of God.
That's right.
Because we no longer had to fake it till we made it. We didn't. We figured out a way to live a better life and feel better about our lives.
Yeah, and I'm kind of 3.5 years away from my kind of biggest pit of despair. You're, I would submit, a little over 11 now, right? Years away from kind of the challenges that you went through. Maybe a little bit less than that.
Probably more like 6.
Okay.
To be honest, 5 or 6. I mean, it wasn't until being sober for 7 or 8 years that things started really clicking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had moments where, things were getting better and they were always progressing, but I don't think I really started doing my real parts until I started making changes in my life and my spiritual journey.
And and here's the deal too, to your comment, Josh. It does take time to heal. You have to be patient through the process. Healing does not come in a straight line.
What?
And it's not
not
linear.
like now.
It is. Hopefully it's like this, where eventually you're kind of climbing out of that pit, and you're gonna have your ups and downs.
You're gonna have those moments where things are great, and then you're gonna have a downfall again. You're gonna have those setbacks, and that's part of the human condition. That's part of proving to God that we're worthy of eternity in heaven because we're willing to still follow His will no matter how rough it gets.
And you're going to have to realize that there's going to be times when you have more pain come up, and there's going to be more pain that you're going to be hiding, a different kind of pain that you're in today. But you got to be willing to kind of share kind of where you are and kind of what you're going through to kind of get through it. And again, sometimes you can do it internally. Sometimes you can get answers from God, maybe in silence, But I think a lot of the times you're getting it from other brothers.
You are, because the problem is we can talk ourselves into anything, and we can hear the signs from God wrong because we're feeling something not right. Going and talking with individuals, talking with people face to face or on the phone or however it may be, but getting those burdens off your chest and letting those weights come off your shoulder is a huge, huge step in changing that. If you're weighed down, how are you supposed to climb the hill?
That's right.
You can't keep going uphill if you're still dragging those old burdens and that old weight, or even the new ones. And that's something that we've talked about too, is it's all here. It is. It's a state of mind. It's knowing that you want something better for yourself and your family.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think there are people in your lives that can help you change your mindset. They can give you a different perspective. They can kind of see you where you are versus you seeing yourself where you are. Sometimes you just can't see where you are. And you might have made progress through kind of the stuff that you're going through. You can't even see it until people say, well, look, you were here 1 day ago, 1 week ago, 1 month ago, 1 year ago, and now you're here. Significantly different than maybe you were back then than you are today. It could be the next day too, right?
6 years ago, if you told me I'd be sitting in front of this talking to people about God, I would have laughed in your face. That's just being 100% honest. That's
Right.
being truthful. 6 years ago, I would have laughed in your face if you told me I'd be on a YouTube channel talking about God and what He's done for me in my life. Wouldn't have happened. And that's right there, proof. It's not going to be a now. It takes time. Don't think that the second you pray, you're going to have an answer. It doesn't work that way.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So again, what are you struggling with? Will you drop a comment? Let us know. maybe we can help. Maybe we can give some insight as to kind of what you're going through. Again, we've been there before, but just know that you overcome by kind of sharing your struggle, and again, give the opportunity for other people to kind of serve into you, and hopefully guide you down a path where you can take the next right step. So again, I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
This has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society, and we're here to help you find the beauty
in the darkness.
And by the way, if you found that light,
please go show your glow to the rest of the world.
See you in the next video.
See you guys.